Once in a while, medics cross over if they're close,
Right.
and somebody says, "Hey, they need help" or something like that. You go help the other platoon if your guys aren't. Somebody's not wounded or hurt or anything like that. But
You stay with your guys.
most of the time, I stay. You stay within your platoon. It's amazing the turnover of people like we were all talking about that before. And I had a lieutenant in basic training that was. He may have been 5 feet tall,
Right.
but I don't think he shaved yet. Yeah, and he was a real, whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so Flaherty takes the cake.
yeah, right. He really. I never seen anybody smaller than him on there, other than the Vietnamese, But he was like I said. Well, I can remember. I don't know how long it was after I got home that I remember. I saw an article in a paper about him. One of the guys I was working with, he says, "Hey, did you know this guy?" And it just so happened that I knew, and they were talking about him making captain or something in the Green Beret.
Yeah.
And I thought it was in Germany at the time. I'm not sure, but I remember reading it. Said, "Yeah, I know him." It's hard to imagine all the people in the world, and you go, "Yeah, I knew him." But I remember reading about it that he had made guys as Green Beret. Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. So, some really bad ones. But I think I personally just did my job, and I tried to stay focused on what I had to do. But then when it was over, that's when you reflect on that and go, wow, this was, because, and nobody tells you too much when you first, what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to be with, whether I follow the platoon leader around or whether I follow the platoon sergeant around. And I always thought that I had to, be up front of the platoon. Because if I wanted to be there if somebody got wounded. Well, they told me, stay back. They don't want you to, it's okay. But the first time it ever happened that we had to cross an area and go across an area, and they would send in the guys across this area. I'd say maybe it was a couple 100 feet open area, and they had set machine guns up, and they were firing into this tree line and things. And everybody's going across, and all of us left pretty soon was me and a couple of other guys. And I go, oh man, I didn't want to go. And you start running across there, and I was running and I was looking at the other thing. I wasn't looking, and then I looked down and I saw the bullets hitting at my feet. They were actually shooting at me, and and that's when I said, this is kind of personal. And I got over to the other side and I jumped into this tree line in the ditch, and I start talking to this guy, and he told me who his name was. Delaney was his name, and we talked for a little bit, and then somebody got wounded, and I took off, went to help him, and I didn't know this guy that I had talked to. He hadn't been there that long either. Later on in the day, we had to go out and find his body. He'd gotten killed that same day, and and I, wow. It's really, it was kind of a bad, that could have very possibly been the day they said that, he won a Silver Star. I don't know. The whole company was in a fight that day. I would say my first month in there, we got shot at every day, whether it was a sniper or a few guys. I don't know, and I don't remember the day we were coming up. It was kind of like a trail or something. I don't remember. It could have been first platoon or second platoon that was in the lead. But when the fighting started, the company commander sent our platoon off to the left to flank. And they were all fighting up in the front, and then we got over to here, and that's when they told us you got to go across on that other tree line to flank them on that side. And we did that. And like I said, all this other happened. And then there was a hedge line there, and somebody they were supposed to moved forward up towards this tree line, and the guys started down this little incline, and then they started to go back up, and one of the guys got shot right then, and that's when they hollered for medic. And I took off, and I went down, and like that, and I got to the guy, and I ended up putting bandages on him and stuff. He was shot in the stomach and that, and we waited there for a little bit, and then the rest of the company got over there, and we kind of had a wall set up, and then they started calling in the medevac and everything. We got the guy out. And there was a lot of other wounded guys too from the other platoons and that. So I don't know what exactly happened on the right side or the left side. But after they had gotten the wounded out and we started to move off to the right and we flank them on this side, then we had to stop, hold up, because they were pumping artillery in. I believe it was either 105s or 155s. They were thrown in there. And then later on, it was just getting darker and darker, and we ended up having to kind of set up in the middle of nowhere. And that's when they come around and they were asking about, where's so-and-so, where's so-and-so, and that. And then they got a squad of guys, one of the guys, and then he says, all right, I need some volunteers to go. Delaney's missing this guy. So we went out to find him. Now, it could have very easily, it could have been Lieutenant Flaherty leading that. I can't remember. He was one of the guys missing, and they found him in a little foxhole, and he was carrying a grenade launcher, M79, and they found him, and he was riddled with bullets, but he was out of ammo. And why he just stayed there and just kept on firing, and I believe they wrote him up for a Silver Star or something. I think Lieutenant did or something. But they went out to retrieve his body. And I think by the time we got out there, it was probably, 10 or 11, I don't know, that late at night. It was pretty dark, but I can't remember what time it got dark. But we got the body back, but I think by then the NVA they were moving out. They were getting out of there. That's what they usually did. They took off, so.
But that was a pretty
that was
vicious battle.
Yeah, that was one of my earlier ones that I was involved in. Yeah. I didn't know that. It's hard to believe that, maybe this stuff haunted him. It doesn't do a lot of guys. I got my own personal problems that I have to deal with, and most of the guys here do at one time or the other. And it's sad that everybody has to, and you got nobody else to talk to. And guys told me, he says, you need to go to the VA, get some help. And since then I have, because I got PTSD on certain things that happened to me. And so I can imagine what he went through being an officer, and you're responsible for your platoon, or if you're a company commander, your company, and you have to do what you think is right. And that's the same as my job. I always figured my platoon came first. That's my responsibility, and and that's why I know people smoked dope, did this or that in the field, but when I was out in the field, I never touched nothing, because I didn't want somebody's life if they would die because there was something I could have done and I was messed up and couldn't do it. That's just my belief in that. But it must have been haunted. It's a sad thing, He like I said, he impressed me, so it's all And I have a lot of officers that didn't impress me, so.